listens in here too.
Yay.
Can people see us when we do this bit, or is it only when you record?
No, they can see all of it.
Oh my God.
Position.
Oh, hey, cool. My check cleared. That works.
What's it?
I'll tell you this whole story. I'll tell you this whole story in a second.
Okay.
And we're live. This is it, right? We're doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got that microphone? What are you, Rush Limbaugh?
I know.
All
Hold
right.
on.
We'll do the intro. I'm going to pick this up a little bit.
Can you hear me okay, though? Honestly?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's SEO and IPA. It's the fun weekly hangout about inbound marketing, entrepreneurship, and more for cool people of all shapes, stripes, and colors. As always, I'm Daniel Barrett here from AdWordsNerds.com. That is AdWordsNerds.com. And with me, as always, is the brains behind the operation. Officially, the only reason anybody ever watched this show, retargeted for assassination. It is Patty DeLessio from Reinvent Interactive. It is reinventinteractive.com. How are you, Patty, my wonderful friend?
I am terrific, my wonderful friend. Happy anniversary. Happy, well, I happen to have a pumpkin beer, but happy Halloween.
Yeah. Happy Halloween. This is our Halloween episode. This whole thing. Oh, okay, so scary thoughts for Halloween. I just thought about this. I ran to the bathroom right before I came in here.
Oh, here we go.
Standing in the bathroom as I often am. And thinking about this stuff. Here's the thing. Both terrifying.
Yes.
Terrifying idea.
Yeah.
But also, here we go with this thing again. Hold on. I love Google Voice and I hate it at the same time.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the idea.
Terrifying toilet talk.
Terrifying toilet thought about retargeting.
Okay.
Facial recognition retargeting. So you walk into Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah.
There's a camera. They scan your face, facial recognition, match it to your Facebook account, show you ads from Bed Bath & Beyond. You're now on their retargeting list.
Wow.
Think about that. That's, first of all, I'm a rich man. Copyright Daniel Barrett, 2015 facial recognition thing.
Right here,
and also
online,
fucking terrifying. There's some comic, I didn't actually read it, but anyway, it's like kind of near future, everyone's plugged in, kind of dystopia kind of thing.
Yeah.
And no, that wasn't that. I saw an article online. It was someone who's doing makeup to screw up facial recognition. So it's like people like paint like mosaics and stuff with makeup on their face, and then recognition thing won't work.
Okay, I just thought of an article because I know that we're jumping kind of all over the place. And we still have to talk about beer, but I have got to find this article, and I'm forgetting who had it on their page. But it was okay. So it was a guy whose roommate. Oh shit! I'm going to screw this up. Wait. The roommate was a professional sword swallower, right? Like that was his, like legitimately. This is how the story goes. The roommate was an actual sword swallower, but ironically enough, had some weird gag thing going on. So the roommate did these micro-targeted ads to him on Facebook that was like, so if you're a sword swallower and you have this like gag thing, and it was like, and he didn't know that the roommate was doing it. And the next thing you know, he's just like freaking the shit out because it's like, you know,
I think I read this. The guy like drove his roommate insane with yeah.
Brilliant.
I have wanted to do something like that for a very long time.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna find the article. I think I remember exactly where I found it. I'm gonna post it. I've got a handful of articles that we're gonna share. Here it is. I drove my roommate to a state of paranoia using Facebook ads.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yep, I think.
You know what I can do? I just realized this. I can do not disturb on my phone. Right? That's a thing.
That is a thing. But can you do
this? Do not disturb for Google Voice. That's really what I want. I want to automatically set do not disturb on my phone and Google Voice simultaneously.
They won't let you do that?
I don't know. I've never thought about it before.
I'm echoing.
So let me tell you my story because that gets into drinks for this week.
Okay.
All right. So I got a call from a guy. I'm doing a product launch, coaching program launch.
Yep.
Part of the reason I'm getting all these calls is I was on this podcast this morning, and so people are like, they're hearing it for the first time, and so whatever. So anyway,
congratulations.
I just got like 4 calls, which is cool. Yeah. So anyway, this guy was like, hey, I really want to do your thing. I had like an early bird list. He's like, I want to be on the early bird list, but for whatever reason, PayPal thing's not working. He's like, can we meet up? I'm actually going to be in Connecticut for a business. Can we meet up? I'll buy you a beer and I'll give you like a check. And I was like, sure, that works. So we met up, and I was like, look, I only have 2 beers when I'm out at a bar ever, right? Because I have to drive or whatever. And he's like, cool. So the guy was like, hey, I was like at the bar. I was like, hey, what's good? And he was like, oh, there's this beer that we have from Grace Sales, which is a brewing company in Rhode Island. Okay. He's like, it's called Captain's Daughter, which is a great name for a beer. Okay. And he was like, you should try it out. It's amazing. It's like IPA. It's really delicious. And he's like, it's kind of like Heady Topper sort of thing. And I was like, oh, Patty.
Right.
I love Heady Topper. So I was like, great. So I tried it. It was delicious, amazing. It was like kind of light and sort of like citrusy, but it's hoppy. It was just really delicious. And I was like, beautiful. And I had my 2. And at the end of the 2, I was like, I'm drunk. Why am I so drunk? And it's because I realized after the fact that it was like a double and I was wasted.
It was like a 10, 11%.
Oh, it was like 9%, but it was just, it's enough for me.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was like, ugh. So the next day I woke up and I was like, I feel a little queasy, and proceeded to be queasy the entire day. So just so upset, like just like, I actually went home early, like sick, because I was like, I don't understand what happened. So today, I'm not drinking any beer for at least like a solid week.
Oh,
so today, this is my drink. I got classic water and I got Alka-Seltzer, and I'm going to put the Alka-Seltzer in the thing live because I'm going to be honest, I still feel a little weird. And here we go. You ready?
Have you been eating?
Yeah, I ate.
All right.
Look at that. Yeah, get into it. No, on no other blab can you see this live. I really, as my son reads every day now in his favorite book, which is Dragons Love Tacos.
It's a book?
Yeah. Oh, it's hilarious. It's a great book. Anyway, okay. It says, spicy salsa gives dragons the tummy troubles.
Okay.
I have the tummy troubles. I say tummy troubles all the time. I have the tummy troubles. So, yeah. What's your hangover cure? You have a hangover cure? Justin over here says caramel apple dippers. That's like his thing. Green apples and caramel sauce from Wawa. But I don't have a Wawa near me.
You
have like a hangover thing? Or do you not get hangovers anymore because you've been drinking a long time? And I've only been drinking like 4 days.
It's funny. I went away this weekend. Oh. I'm over kind of echoing. Do you hear that? Make it stop.
I don't hear anything.
Really? Okay. I'm echoing on your side. So, I went away this weekend, and I was trying I wanted to feel good, even though we were like out till 3 a.m. It was just out of control. So on Friday and Saturday night. So I did this thing where I was, hair of the dog. Yeah. So what I did is I travel, when I'm traveling, I travel with like snacks and nuts and crap in my bag because being hungry sucks. And, you can't always find, you're not always, I don't know. I guess New York, you can always get something to eat. I don't know what I'm saying, but like when I'm airport traveling, whatever. So I had this nut kind of trail mix thing, pumpkin seeds, whatever. So I ate that before going to bed, and as soon as I woke up, and that kind of made my tummy troubles less, I guess. But okay. I don't know if that's a cure. I don't think there is a cure. I think it's time, and it's lousy, and freaking hangovers suck. And the older I get, the shittier the hangovers are. So, I try to keep that shit at bay. So. A handful of hair. Yeah. Okay. There you go. But anyway, so I'm going to talk about my beer since I'm carrying the 2 of us today.
Yes, please do.
Again. I don't think I've ever skipped, for the record.
I skip all the time. Yeah. I can't handle alcohol very well.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. I don't feel bad about that.
So I have my favorite pumpkin beer.
Haven't you changed favorite pumpkin beers like 9 times this year? What is with you?
No.
This is the new one.
It used to be Post Road. This is the same pumpkin beer for like 2 years running. It's by Whole Hog, and it received #1 rating on Playboy. Allow me to post the article.
All right, you're reading for the articles.
Well, because there's going to be no nudie stuff now. Did you know they're getting rid of the?
Yeah, I don't see why. I guess they're like, oh, it doesn't help us because of like internet pornography, right? But I'm like, but it doesn't hurt you, or maybe it does. Maybe that's what they think. It's like no one wants to be seen carrying around a Playboy. I don't know. So it's Whole Hog. They call it a limited edition, but it's been around for a bunch of years now, like a bunch of years. So it's super, super tasty. It's gorgeous. It looks kind of flat.
You know, it is. It is. Let's see if I can get a little something going here. So there's a little something. But yeah, no, it's not highly carbonated. It's really not. It's not syrupy sweet, but it has a richer mouthfeel, and it's like freaking pumpkin pie. It's gorgeous. It really is gorgeous. I love this beer. So it's called Whole Hog. So anyway, cheers to you, my friend.
Cheers, everybody. May sodium bicarbonate or whatever this is. Of course,
that's pretty much what it is. Let's enjoy our carbonated beverages.
Gross, yeah. It's a little gross. Well, do you want to talk about this week's topic?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about this. But you suggested the topic. I sent you the article, which just happened to be a recent article that I read about this topic, but we can just talk about it in general. So this week, we're talking about retargeting. It's if you didn't target someone enough the first time, you can target them again. This is actually good timing because we just started started preparing for a big push into retargeting for our clients. There's this whole thing about how in our niche, people say that retargeting doesn't work. And I say, you just haven't retargeted enough, but I don't actually know it. So we're rolling out a whole bunch of tests. But anyway, retargeting has been around for a while. This is the classic thing. You add a Yankee Candle into your cart, you leave without checking out, and then 2 minutes later you see a coupon for 10% off Yankee Candles. I love Yankee Candles.
I know you do.
That's retargeting. It's basically dropping a cookie and targeting people based on who has that cookie. And there's a lot of different ways to use this now. Services like AdRoll, which is what we're going to start using for our retargeting stuff. They'll let you retarget across hundreds of different ad networks simultaneously. Not to mention the old chestnuts of AdWords display network retargeting and Facebook retargeting. There's so much stuff that goes into this now, and it's a really, really kind of full plate of stuff you got to think about. And gone are the days where you just kind of drop a single cookie and you retarget it based on that. It's gotten much more complicated. You've got email retargeting and Google now. You've got so much stuff going on, and gradually becoming more and more complex, but then also simultaneously a lot of services coming out that promise algorithmically to handle this for you. Display network targeting, especially in Google's gotten a lot easier and more complicated simultaneously. So there's a lot of stuff going on. The article that we are talking about today, although again, this was just kind of, I thought, an interesting article I read recently and not necessarily the end all be all. I'll pop the link right there in the comments. This was on Search Engine Land, talking about internet-wide retargeting powered by social psychographics, which is sort of a hyped up title for what they talk about, but an interesting kind of like approach to just breaking down some of the ways that retargeting has become more complicated. So we can talk about retargeting in general, about my $billion facial recognition retargeting startup, which I'm going to go ahead and call FaceLook, or
Face Track, Face Target,
Face Target,
Face Target,
ad hominem. That's got to be a thing already, right?
Is it? I don't know.
But anyway, whatever.
I don't know.
It's ad something. It's got ad in it. Anyway, give me a bunch of venture capital. I need to go on vacation. We can talk about the dark side of retargeting as well, and whether it crosses the line.
Yes.
And we can talk about, of course, some of the big stuff that's happening now. And I mean, if we want to get into that, and ad blockers on iOS and all that stuff, all congealing around this feeling. So, yeah. Do you want to kind of kick it off? We can go over the article, or we can just talk about retargeting in general. Patty, what do you feel like?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're not getting that feedback.
Nope.
All right. Sorry.
I can give you some feedback if you want. Stop talking about it.
About my hair. You know what? I used to have the data. I'm forgetting what the statistics are about how well retargeting works, because I mean, that's why we're talking about it. That's why it's improving so much, is because it actually works, right? It does. It increases convert. What did you say?
I shrugged.
You shrugged?
I shrugged.
It was an audible shrug. Is that what that was?
Yeah, I did actually do an audible shrug.
It works. There's like a very high conversion rate. Well, you're gonna start doing some tests, so you're gonna let us know, right?
Yeah. So
definitively in your niche.
The standard line is that, yes, it converts really high. It's much cheaper cost per click, yada, yada. So it's only positive. And that's certainly true, right. I think, for most things.
Right.
You know, the long, boring version of the answer is that, like, it depends on your market and blah, 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 right? So, and I think to a large extent, too, partially what the article is talking about, right? It really depends on how you segment those people and how you do it, right? Gone are the days where, like, when I first started Two Friendly Nerds, I did a retargeting campaign, and I had a client call me say, "Wow, you guys are getting really big," and I was like, "I really?" And he's like, "Yeah, like I just saw today that you were advertising on Jewish Mothers Weekly, and the ad that I had made, it was a banner ad that had my face on it like this, and he sent me a screenshot. It was like Jewish Mothers Weekly newsletter, and just a giant ad of like Dan Barrett's face, like, you know." And so I think that the days of when you could just bulk target people that land on your website and do a whole lot out of it are kind of gone. It's just things have gotten a little more complicated. But
you know, and I'm gonna talk about this too. There's a it's just getting all this. Damn it. I saw a Whiteboard Friday recently that was really great. That was about retargeting, but it was specifically about retargeting those that have visited your website and how to do that, you know, kind of really smart and, you know, some kind of like, you know, detail with that. But he's, I don't know, he had some really good points. I'm going to repost that article. But there's ways to do it. Say it again.
I just posted the link while you're targeting.
Oh, there, yeah. So,
I had reverb on everything, Tony, including my live presentations. I actually was really tempted recently in ScreenFlow. I was doing a PowerPoint presentation, recorded it, and they let you do like cathedral reverb on your voice, and I was like, I want to click it, but I just can't. Okay, so anyway, so the Moz thing.
The Moz thing is great. Yeah. So he talks about, you know, you want to, you know, you don't want to kill somebody with the same retargeted ad. It just doesn't pay over time. You know, if it's that same damn pair of shoes that you just looked at Zappos is like taunting you for, you know, a week online. And then there's, of course, the kind of classic story about how retargeting ruined Christmas. Remember that article from, I don't know if it was last year or the year before?
No, I don't remember that.
There was, you know, the couple are sharing the computer, and then there's that item that kept showing up. That's the thing that he ended up buying her for Christmas, but retargeting kind of ruined the surprise. So anyway, so that's the dark side.
I never read that. That sounds funny.
It is. It's funny. Yeah. So I think the article was how retargeting ruined Christmas.
It was like he went to go buy it, and
he was shopping around for it,
targeting like on their family computer, and so she saw the ad like a million times.
Exactly. So then it started retargeting the wife with the thing that he was shopping for. So yeah, there it is. Ad targeting ruined Christmas. So yeah. So you know, there's good things and bads, and Rand talks about like the burner pixels, and we can kind of talk technically about kind of how some of this works. But it's like what shuts it off. You know, make sure that you're not retargeting those that actually converted, that actually made that purchase, and then they're, you know, you're just wasting dollars and clicks by following them around.
I mean, it does. A lot of it comes down to how you segment the audience, right? So how you divide them up and how you decide who gets what message and what message they need to get. We've talked about the buyer's life cycle and like all that kind of stuff, which is sort of goofy, but in some ways is useful because it's like, well, okay, you know, if you got this far, here's the thing you're probably thinking about, right? Like I don't need to necessarily do that, but there's some people too that talk about remarketing as just, it's a branding thing. I want to show my logo to you 90 times and you know, whatever. And so there's a strategic element to it when it's done well. Which is the part that, quite frankly, like we're struggling with a little bit in our market because it's not clear. All the existing stuff that's out there is focused entirely on you land on the page, we generate the lead. It all happens at once, and the basic mindset is like if it doesn't happen at once, they're not motivated enough, and so they kind of discard those people,
right? The
people that didn't kind of convert up front. And so the question is for us, it's like, well, okay, like. How do you convert someone that's maybe not as motivated and typically motivated lead kind of driven marketing, right? So there's a lot of, you start to weave in like, what's the content that you're putting in front of them or what's the offer that you're putting in front of them?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yeah, it gets complicated. I think a lot of people think of it as something that's very simple. So I'm interested, have you ever used AdRoll?
You know, I haven't. How are you liking it?
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't actually used it yet.
Okay.
I signed up, and then you pay per click or conversion or something. So, you know, we haven't spent anything, but we're basically like, we're loading our clients' pixels up now. We're starting to generate kind of like audience sizes and stuff like that. Right. So the thing that was attractive to me about it was includes AdWords remarketing, which we were already doing to a very small extent, but includes Facebook and then like 200 other ad networks, whatever that means. Right. And then, but they also try to use some sort of algorithmic kind of thing to drop placements. One of the challenges for us when we do remarketing is like, it's such a specific market. And when we do display network remarketing, all of our time is basically spent like pruning placements and really trying to think about negative placements. And so just to be like really, 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 really narrowly focused. And if you sort of blow that up across, 30 clients or whatever, some of whom are doing tons and tons and tons of impressions, it starts to get overwhelming for something that's like never going to be like, really, it's never going to be for what we do, the primary mover. It's something that you kind of do on top of something. So the question is always like, how much work do we put into it versus not put into it? So I'm attracted to this idea of like some of the base kind of placement exclusion stuff is handled. Right. It seems very reasonably priced. So some kind of thing on top of whatever they spend, they give you the CPM or whatever includes their fee. Right. So it's fairly transparent, seems cool. Yeah. But I don't know much about it beyond that. So we're testing it out, and I'll let you know what I think. But I think the solution for if you're trying to do it at scale, or you're doing agency stuff like we're doing agency stuff, or like you're doing agency stuff, it's like, what can we do that's not going to take a ton of time for what is kind of a relatively small percentage of payoff for clients, right? So, I don't know. How do you typically do? Your clients are kind of all over the place in terms of businesses and stuff, but it's like, so when you have kind of like, imagine your standard client, where do you fit in remarketing for them?
Well, we've done, lists in social media. We've done obviously a lot of, psychographic kind of stuff within social media. So I thought that was an interesting part of the article.
I mean, I don't like the word psychographics.
No.
It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't.
It means nothing. What do you like? Oh, yeah, I have all sorts of psychographics. Yeah. I love chocolate milk. I mean, right? I mean, it's kind of a nonsense phrase.
It is, but in contrast to demographics, you need to kind of call that out, right?
So, let's put it this way. No social scientist made up the term psychographics.
It's a marketing term.
Dude made up that in a blog post. I feel like that's got to be the case.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I like, targeting those that like parallel ideas. You know, that's kind of that's a low hanging fruit idea with some of this. Sorry, I was a consultant. It's kind of, you know, as I was saying it, I'm like, I wish I could take it back, the low hanging fruit. But I mean, it's an easy kind of hit to kind of go after kind of competitors or similar product lines. You know, if you like this, you'll like mine. Let's go after you. You know, if you don't already like me, I want to go after you this way. So, you know, I've done, you know, a bunch of that kind of stuff. You know, the list thing, you have to be careful because you need at least 1,000, I think, emails still, right? To upload before you can start targeting, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the raw number is in Google specifically for the email.
Yeah.
Email. We haven't played around with that yet because that's still fairly new.
Yeah.
And it's like most of these people our clients, they only get the emails if they've already converted, at which point they don't need to retarget. It's either going to become a deal or it isn't.
Right.
So it's like not necessarily a great fit for us. Do you have people that are kind of doing the email list retargeting in search, or they do display?
Search. That's new. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
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 Of course. No, it's cool.
I thought that's what we were talking about.
No, I know.
Okay. You're like, have you seen it? I'm like, no, I've been talking on my ass this entire time, Patty. That's fine. I do that with movies when people are like, oh, you know this part of like King Kong? I'm like, yeah, I know that part. Because I saw it, like all of us here. I do that shit all the time. I've only seen like 3 movies.
You're like completely full of shit. Well,
although I did watch the new Jurassic Park movie and I enjoyed it.
You did?
I would watch Chris Pratt eat a pineapple for 2 hours and be like, all right, I was into that.
That's really fun.
He can do pretty much whatever he wants.
All right, so this article, you're right, was a little bit thin on the details. I thought, you know, when I first scanned it, I was like, oh, this is going to be a little bit rich. And then I was like, oh, okay. But
what, the article?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just okay.
It's also sponsored. Did you notice that it says at the top it's sponsored?
I didn't. Oh, no, I fell for that shit?
You did.
The sponsored content bullshit?
Yep.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh, by Aim Clear. Who's Aim Clear? I'm really curious.
They do this kind of shit, apparently.
Yeah. So I fell for the sponsored content thing. Although maybe that's not fair, but I feel like sponsored content's always like you know, it's like Anne Frank hid, you know, it's like the secret to Anne Frank survive, you know, hiding. You know, it's like, oh, it's because she was constantly refreshed by cool Coca-Cola.
I know.
Coca-Cola,
exactly right.
The official soda of Anne Frank.
Right.
You know, I feel like that's what it's going to be. Maybe that's unfair to, I don't know, but
no, it's totally fair. Remember the really highly publicized piece of content like this was like right before the Orange is the New Black last season came out. They paid to have this New York Times article pushed that was like about women in prisons. So it was like it was like this whole expose, and then it just had ads about Orange is the New Black, and I was like, that's a little, I don't know, right? Yeah.
No problem. Well, I don't know, but maybe that's conscious capitalism.
Yeah,
that's a thing.
It's kind of how it goes.
In any case, yeah, I mean, the article's okay. You would check it out. It's a decent kind of introduction into layering over.
It does. I'm going to bring it up here. So
actually, I looked this up. I'm going to share this PDF because when we were talking, I Googled psychographics origin. Okay. So the term psychographics goes back to World War I when it was used to describe people by their looks.
Really?
It's like your psychographics is like blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so anyway, it's interesting. That's a PDF. It was like indicates it was first used by an American writer around World War I to describe a method of classifying people by their physical appearance, but not by demographic, socioeconomics, lifestyle, or psychological characteristics.
Well, in looking up kind of definitionally, because they kind of talk about demographics and then psychographics, is I did learn a new term, which is they refer to that as the IAO, which is the interest, attitudes, and opinions. Falls under psychographics. It's the IAO.
Do we need new words and acronyms for everything? Stuff.
Always.
Stuff about you.
That's right. That's right. So
Like
anyway,
my wife always says I use the word that too often with the baby. I'm like, hey, can you give me that? And she's like, use your words. And I'm like, that is a word. It's the most useful word. You can apply it to anything. It's fine.
He's gonna not know. He's gonna be like, what's that? Yeah. Well,
That.
he needs to learn vocabulary. You can't call everything that.
Well, I don't know the vocabulary. I'm like, the Tupperware thing you have. It's like, I don't know what to call it.
Right.
It's not like it's a pencil or something. Anyway, he likes to play with Tupperware.
Very good.
So I'm like, oh no, the plastic soup basin. Give me the plastic soup basin. And he's like, verily, of course, father. You know, whatever. He's shitting in his pants like every day. I can say that. All right. So retargeting. Back to retargeting.
Okay, so the article goes through 4 steps, right? I only have 3 on my paper. It is 4, right? I left off the 4th.
4th is sign up for more information from Aim Clear Communication. Aim Clear, the official retargeting agency of Anne Frank. Don't. I'm sure they're lovely people. I'm sure Aim Clear are fantastic people. I was a little taken aback that I didn't notice that. But cheers, guys. You're on this show, so they're going to get the SEO and IPA bump.
That's right.
See that tick up in their analytics, and they're like, holy shit.
They're going to be retargeted by a whole bunch of
Guys, we went viral. We're going viral.
That's right. Sorry, now I have the giggles, Dan. That's like so not good. All right, so I realized the 4th one I missed was retarget and score. It's about the conversion. So okay, so the first step here is about tight social targeting. And I liked actually this line, shut up. And I like this line, which is the delicate cross-section of, I didn't write it down.
This is sexy. It's talking about someone's tight, delicate cross-section. Like, steamy writing.
Of volume. So it's the delicate cross-section of volume, which is like having statistically significant data or enough. And then specificity, which is the right audience. So it's that you need enough, and then you need the right, kind of like targeted.
I like how marketers talk about what they do. They make it seem so complicated.
Yeah.
Because you don't just need enough.
Yeah.
You need the right one. And it's a delicate. And I'm like a brain surgeon, practically.
Right.
It's
practically.
Yes. Okay. So you're right. You need the right thing, and you need enough of the thing. If you're dying of thirst, you don't just need enough water. You need water and not gasoline. That's true.
It's true.
That's true so far. I like this. I'm liking it. I submitted this article, by the way.
And I'm the one walking through it. So it's talking about the example was also a little lame. This is going to be one of these articles that we kind of like don't really be very kind about, especially now that we know that they paid for it. And Search Engine Land printed it.
Right.
Sullivan.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Calling out by name.
Talking to you.
Getting intense.
So the example is a retailer selling high-end children's clothes. So we're going to go after rich mothers on Facebook and find out. We're going to get the age group.
It's an excellent target market, rich moms.
Yeah. Because they're on Facebook a lot. So you've got,
MILFs. Mothers, I like their finances.
There you go.
Mothers, colon. Okay, continue.
Colons of mother. Okay, so.
Yeah, rich mother colons. Mothers. Got it.
Sorry. Tony's talking to us. Hi, Tony.
Asterisk. Got it.
So,
all right, so we're targeting rich mothers on Facebook, potentially for grifting of some kind.
So here's the thing. So you target them on Facebook, but you're using the links that you're putting in there are the all highly tagged, right? So number 2 is the essentials of tagging.
Okay.
You're going to go to what is it? The Google URL builder. You're going to create your UTM tags. You're going to highly target within Facebook, social media demographics, right? And then you're going to capture all those clicks in Google Analytics. And I got a little bit confused when she was talking about this because she was like, then you go into AdWords, and then she has a picture of Google Analytics, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what are we doing here? But yeah, so number 2 is tagging all the links. So you've got a very highly targeted group within social media. Number 1. Number 2, she says to create the tag, so everything that you're sending to them, they're going to click on. You're going to kind of track that in analytics. And then that enables you to kind of build this list within analytics that you can then share with AdWords, right? And then you can kind of target that. And then that's where you get this, what's the title? The, internet-wide retargeting. So it's not just social media targeting. It's you're using what you learned from social media, and then you're importing that into and using that in your AdWords. I'm not currently doing that listing. Are you doing this, Dan?
Am I doing sorry, I'm like plugging this guy. What am I doing?
The remarketing by using lists that you've created in social media by using the UTM Google tags.
No, that was the main thing I pulled out of the article that I thought was cool.
Yeah.
And it's like I like the idea of doing kind of using UTMs in that way. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah,
I hadn't really thought about it. I mean, we don't do a lot of social media, so maybe it's just not something that's on my radar particularly, but especially for like product consumer facing stuff, that seems really great.
Yeah.
Or even a more broad B2B perspective rather than something that's so niche like what we're doing.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's also where your audience lives, if you're, if they're within this particular age range, and on, Facebook makes it really, but not, if you're going after a younger demographic, you may not be able to gain the insights there. But, certainly the wealthy moms that are into fancy kids clothes, certainly the right place to be. Right. But no, I would make the argument that you can glean a lot from this. I didn't see much about LinkedIn. I'd be curious what you can export and leverage and test within LinkedIn. I mean, I don't know. So let's see. So then and then she talks about building the lists. Let's see what she does. She does there. That's number 3. I guess this is just the details on how to bring it into your audience builder. Right.
Yeah.
So that's actually really helpful. This is the most helpful part of the article. And then number 4 was about, retargeting and score. So, once the retargeting lists are there, you've built it over time. So you have a significant number of this, enough about the list that it's retargeted the right way. Then you can kind of manage this. And then I guess the assumption here without her saying it is, and she mentions ad roll too. So you can just kind of, just bank, right? You've got this list. It's really good. Now do it. But what she's not saying is how to market to that really targeted list that you have, kind of like what the tips and tricks are. And that's where I would go to the Rand
So is there maybe like some sort of agency that I could hire?
Us? Right. Yeah, we can really think about that for you. So yeah, I don't know. So why did you pick this article, Dan? Did you pick it before you read it?
Because you mentioned retargeting and it was in my pocket archive.
Okay.
As a thing that I read. I think it was just meant to be a jumping off point to kind of start the conversation. And I think it did that pretty well.
Yeah.
I've got to take off, but I did want to share this one more article before we go.
Okay.
And that is...
I was just looking for that second one. Well, wait,
There we go. Was ABBA secretly a neo-Nazi conversion tool? This article that I just posted in here posits the idea that ABBA is a Nazi band.
Okay.
And that they have all these secret hidden Nazi messages in there. I suggest everyone read this and decide for themselves what is the deal with ABBA.
Do they keep?
I have to say, by the end of the article, I was like,
maybe they are.
I don't know. I found it to be very interesting. No?
I don't know. I'm skipping to the end. It's too long. I can't read it right
You
now.
have to read the whole thing. You can't skip to the end.
I can't.
Because there's a lot of evidence you have to parse through.
There's I'm seeing a lot of other bands in here too. Ace of Base and Alice in Chains. Are these ads? What is this?
Maybe it was Ace of Base. Oh, no, it was Ace of Base, not ABBA.
Oh.
Ace of Base. Ace of Base, sorry. Because the base that they're aces of, he says that's a reference to the base of Aces, which was apparently like a Nazi killer submarine base or something. Read through it. It's Ace of Base. I'm sorry. ABBA, I take it back. ABBA are not Nazis. Ace of Base are the Nazis. Did you know that Phil Collins is a huge anti-Semite?
He is?
No, but I tell everyone that.
You tell everyone.
So this is a long time joke with my friend Tim, going all the way back to like one of the first conversations we always had, which is our goal is to tell everyone that Phil Collins is an anti-Semite so that it gets back to him as a rumor and makes him sad. I don't know why. I can't remember why. I actually love Phil Collins a lot. But somehow I find it funny to spread that rumor.
I can't say I really like Phil Collins. This article does have one of my more favorite movies quoted in it as well. I'm on the second page of it towards the bottom.
What's the movie?
And they're showing a clip from High Fidelity.
Good movie.
Which I kind of absolutely love. I actually read the book too. It's a really funny book.
The book's great.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I only read the book. I didn't read the...
Yeah, all right.
No, that's not true.
You're that dick.
I did see that movie, though. I'm not lying about that one.
Okay.
Right? That's the one where he stands outside with the boombox.
The other one. That's the other one.
This is the one, the one where he goes like back in time and he goes forward in time.
I don't think that's it either. And it's got a...
Is that the one where he's on the bus and the bus can't slow down? It was called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down. Speaking of High Fidelity, did you see John Wick?
No.
You should see that.
It's
Keanu Reeves is in High Fidelity, right? Anyway, John Wick, we're both wearing the Halloween costume. Patty's dressed as a bitter... Sorry, I take it back. I take everything I was going to say back. John Wick, the entire plot of John Wick. I'm going to tell you the entire plot of this movie, and you have to see this movie. It's fantastic.
Okay.
On HBO Go.
Okay.
Russian, I would say amorphously white mafia people.
Okay.
Some sort of mob.
Got it.
Kill Keanu Reeves' dog.
No.
And so he kills the entire mob.
That's not true.
That's the plot of the movie. It is awesome.
Is it?
It sounds dumb. It is awesome because they're like, look, no more plot. You don't need to know anything about the movie. He's a badass. They killed his dog, which, by the way, is more upsetting than if they killed an actual person.
Right.
The dog dies. You're like, no! They kill the dog. He's like, F you. And he just proceeds to murder probably like 400 people in a row. And the movie is great. And they're making a new one. They're making a second one.
I don't want to see anyone have a dog killed. That's awful.
Oh, it's brutal. But watch it. The dog lived in real life. No dogs were really killed.
Okay, and what's it called?
That's thedogdiet.com. John Wick.
John.
Yeah.
What kind of
okay,
dog?
so you can type in a movie to this site that Justin just posted here, and it will tell you if the dog dies before you have to see it or not.
No.
Good. Let's do John Wick. Let's type it in. John Wick. Yes, it is typed in there as he clearly dies. Yeah.
No.
It shows a crying dog icon.
Stop it.
Yeah.
That's this.
It's a crying dog icon.
I don't know how I feel about this.
There's an excellent website. I love that website.
How did you know that was the thing?
Well, Justin posted it in the chat. I didn't know it was
that's
a thing.
a thing. I guess
because he's a pansy and he lives like in the forest or something. He probably has this whole connection with nature that I don't understand, where he just like kind of cuddles. All right.
Chris.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching this episode. I've got to go because I have a call because I run an actual business.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Very good.
Sort of, kind of, sort of. But as always, if you tune in halfway, they can watch the recording of this. Where do the recordings go of these things?
Well, they're in Blab, and then I also save them to YouTube.
Okay, cool. So you can go on YouTube, you can type in SEO and IPA, you can see all our past episodes, you can see the Blabs, you see the past ones on Google Hangouts. I had a client today tell me that he watched a thing with us in it, and I was like, I hope I didn't say anything super embarrassing. And check that out. And as always, we'll be back next week, Wednesday, noon Eastern Standard Time, if you want to join in. Usually all we get is spam guys joining in. I would love for real people to join in. And yeah, that's really it. Patty, you were awesome as always. You were lovely. And you're just holding up your drink. I think that's because you want me to
optimize
responsibly.
Optimize responsibly.
Catchphrase. And as always, guys, we will meet you next week. See you next week. Go out there, retarget some people, target someone, and then target them again.
Yes.
And that's the retargeting part.
That's right.
And yeah, or what do you call a record store that only sells Michael Stipe records? The REM market. REM marketing. No?
No.
Was that not your Stipe of joke?
No.
No?
REM Rush?
REM, Peter Buck. I want to listen to REM.
I love REM.
Idea.
Old REM.
Yeah, the last couple records are good.
Yeah.
But I love, yeah, like their old stuff is so good. All right, cool. Well, let's all go listen to REM. Folks, we'll see you next week. Patty, as always, you're awesome, and I will talk.
Bye, dear.